Walking around our church's lobby, before long, your attention will be drawn to our Lightbox sign. It's this imposing 16 by 9 foot canvas, and when you look at it, you think it's a screen, maybe an LED wall or some kind of futuristic television, surely with a budget far into the 5 figures, but it's not. In fact, the design, the shipping, the frame, all of it cost roughly $3,500. You can change out the design, takes roughly 5 to 10 minutes to do that. Our version is wall-mounted, but you could do a freestanding option, hanging version. Perhaps most importantly, this Lightbox has become a huge draw for when we rent out our building, to the point where it's paid for itself and more. I'm gonna tell you all about the specifics on that front, but can I show you the coolest part, or at least what I think is the coolest? Check this out. The banner itself is made of just fabric. Isn't that wild? Amazing option for churches. Let's talk about the cost, how to set these up in your own church, and also how in our own facility, we use rentals to make this project revenue positive. Our lobby Lightbox is, technically speaking, an SEG fabric Lightbox. SEG stands for Silicone Edge Graphics, referring to the silicone strips that are sewn into the edges of the fabric. The prints themselves don't really scratch or tear, making them easy to transport. And once they're installed over the aluminum frame, they are completely wrinkle-free. Now, here's probably my favorite part. The frame itself is edgeless, so it doesn't give your signage any kind of border, which really gives it this premium luxury appearance. So you have this durable signage that's affordable, but the image itself is also stunning. And this is why when I first saw this in our lobby, I had to ask Pastor Justin, like, what is this? How does a TV roll off on the edges? Or is it not a TV? How are the colors so vibrant on printed signage? The secret is the frame's side lighting behind the fabric canvas. Ours specifically is side lit around the edge, 4 inches deep. Now you can get backlit versions as well. What I like about the side lit options is it creates this natural luminance gradient around the edges of the frame. Realistically, I don't know of any other solution that could create this effect, which is why, and I wish we weren't just like through a screen right now, you could actually stand right up to this Lightbox and still be confused as to what you're actually looking at if you don't know how it's all constructed. Let's talk about cost. Our Lightbox is 16 feet wide by 9 feet high, so a perfect 16 by 9 landscape aspect ratio. We bought this from a Canadian company, as we ourselves are, of course, Canadian. That company was called Showme.ca, not to be confused with the now defunct Canadian Netflix competitor Showme, of the same name and spelling. This is Showme.ca's wall-mounted impact Lightbox. And again, you can get portable freestanding versions or hanging versions as well. If you go the backlit option, it's gonna be more expensive because there are just more LEDs. It's also heavier, but it can be bigger. The max height on the backlit option is gonna be around 15 feet. For our purposes, the side lit option was sufficient, more affordable, lighter, and the max height on a side lit option is 12 feet before you start losing light in the middle of the graphic, because those side lights just can't reach any further than that. And in terms of electrical, because it's LED, it is just one regular plug. For parts, delivery, and lighting, cost us $5,000 Canadian, roughly $3,500 USD. So Pastor Justin claims that he can swap out one banner for another in less than 10 minutes. I've never seen him do it. I'm skeptical. I don't believe in hyperbole, so I'm gonna be timing him on this phone. We'll see if he can prove it. I also do not believe in misleading the great people of Pro Church Nation. So, Pastor Justin, it's up to you. One minute down. 2.5 minute mark.
Oh!
Be careful on that ladder.
How am I doing?
Well, not only did he beat 10 minutes, we are at 4:45:39. That is a virtuous and noble pastor who underpromises and overdelivers, just like our Lord, frankly. Right now on screen, you are seeing the 2 spec guides that ShowMe.ca provides for printing new fabrics. We're gonna link those in the description so that you can get a feel for the requirements if you wanted to do a deep dive. The biggest thing is print orders require a 1-inch additional bleed on each side. So our sign is 192 inches by 108 inches. So our prints, adding 1 inch on each of the 4 sides, need to be 194 inches by 110 inches. Exported as a print-ready PDF, 150 to 300 DPI in CMYK color space. We print on a printed dye sub backlit fabric, and when you're actually designing your banner, the way that it works is when it's printed, black blocks the lights, and white lets the most amount of light through. So anything closer to white really pops, like text. All colors work, obviously, but again, the darker the color, the richer the vibe, and the lighter the color, the more washy it can look. So we typically design in pretty rich colors because of that. Now, there is a cost to printing each additional banner that you want. We'll get to how we use these for our church lobby promotions in just a second, but the cost to print a new fabric for us is roughly $1,100 Canadian without shipping or tax. You are seeing the invoice right now on the screen. All in, we're talking less than 1,500 Canadian per new fabric sign, or roughly $1,000 USD. Importantly, we double this cost for rentals in our building. So for example, our church, just like many others, gets used pretty heavily for school graduations. And when a school decides to host their grad at our church, one of the upgrades that they can add to the rental is a custom banner for the Lightbox. So you're seeing a few mock-ups that we've made for schools that have hosted their grads here pretty recently. You're now seeing the form that we send over to these schools to approve the design before we get the banners into actual production, just to make sure it's all good. And you know, it isn't just schools that love this upgrade, but conferences, trade shows, galas, any number of different events that we rent our building out for. On the cost front, like I said, we simply double the cost we pay from $1,000 USD to $2,000 USD and add that cost to the school's rental rate. And those margins help us to cover any of the printing costs that we do for ourselves for our own church promotions, which we have not yet discussed. How do we actually use this Lightbox for our own church? Here's how. So we're in year 3 of our church being in this new building, and the full monthly mortgage is, as of this year, already covered by rentals entirely, which is very cool. If you want us to do a full separate video on that, let me know in the comments. For the fabric Lightbox specifically, the reason we included it in our church lobby design is because of how attention-grabbing it is. The rich colors, the big size. I mean, yes, a TV can rotate multiple images and videos, so it's got that going for it, but it's also so ordinary and puny next to the Lightbox. And when you compare the Lightbox to those portable church signs that unroll, you know, they just don't have the same presence or vibrance that the Lightbox does. The limitation, of course, is that it is not cheap to print new banners. So we don't change these in our lobby every week. How do we use them? Well, for the most important promotions that we have. So we'll use it to advertise for bridge events like Trunk or Treat, summer camps, Christmas, our big community-focused events that draw new people to our church's campus. We used it for a photo wall on Mother's Day. That was a big hit. We'll use it for group signups when we're making a big promotional group for small groups. Or if it's vision season and we're casting new vision, it's that phrase that gets plastered on the Lightbox. Essentially, this real estate only gets used for the most important church promotions that we have. If you have questions about the Lightbox, thread them up in the comments, and we'll do our very best to get you the answers that you are looking for.
Now, kiss it.
Crazy, scary, stupid, hilarious. That's chapter 1. Keep it going. This is when I challenge Pastor Justin and call him out to be a liar on live TV. How am I gonna make this sound real?
Oh my!
Nope, oh my doesn't sound real.
Wow.
I want it to have energy, you know, like energy. By golly.
Oh my giddy aunt.
These scary, spooky, hilarious. I'll never be more loved than I am right now. What's the next line? Gyra? I was thinking Skywalker. Gyra, you are enough. Oh my Lanta. Wow. That sounds so fake. This is awful. Wow. Black blocks the lights. Black blocks the lights? What does that mean? That doesn't sound right. A place for you, huh? More like a place for me. Really put me in my place.